Origin. It just works. Every year, every game, every breathtaking minute.
We are underway.
Game 1, and the Blues weren't simply dominant, they were destructive.
Beautifully taken, Stewart. The Blues are in with Anthony Quinn. Gasnier a fan. Inside ball. Stewart has scored.
Suddenly, Queensland's no chance of winning Game 2. But remember, it's at Suncorp. You can play Origin, you can watch it forever, but you'll never comprehend what it's like to be a Blue running onto this old graveyard.
Here's the Queensland welcome. There's the kick-off. Here comes the first collision.
The opening minutes always add up to plenty. From the off, Queensland have more hunger, more bite.
Fitzgibbon picked up and driven back. Quickly across the line.
Revenge has a taste. It is sweet. Greg Inglis, humiliated by Gasnier in Game 1, treats the Blues like pushovers.
Inglis with the fend, a big fend from Inglis.
Wild horses do this to jockeys.
Steps over the 40, over the 30, draws the last line, and Darius Boyd will go all the way. Queensland get the first try of the night.
With the Maroons galloping down the left, Inglis is having the game of his life. His battle with Gasnier, a game breaker.
Darius Boyd, he will get a double on debut.
Young Carmichael's at it again, this time targeting the man of the match from Game 1.
Oh, that's another big tackle by Queensland. That was Carmichael Hunt, he's hurt himself.
Grip the teeth, son.
Inglis is a freak, rare talent. Lad should be in the circus.
Here's a juggle and a regather by Inglis. Look at this tackle from Queensland.
In the desperation of the lengthening chase, the Blues lose their composure, their greatest asset in Game 1. And the Maroons celebrate.
Goes across the face to Hammond. Yes, he'll score. Prince goes deliberately over the head of Quinn. Try for Israel Folau.
Tonight, the decider. A new-look New South Wales against a Queensland side that really changes. Every year, every game, every breathtaking minute. Exclusively live here on the home of big-time sport, Channel 9.
Danny Badiris might be farewelling representative football tonight, but his record will remain. This evening he goes past good mate Paul Harrigan's consecutive run of matches. Tonight he will finish with 21 straight games, and of course he will also eclipse Brad Fittler when it comes to the captaincy stakes. He will lead the Blues for the 15th time tonight, and it's very appropriate that we welcome Phil Gould to the panel for the first time tonight. And Gus, you actually gave him the captaincy back in 2004. What convinced you that he was the man for the job?
I think pound for pound he's one of the most competitive footballers I've ever seen. As you know, a lot of great players have played Origin football for New South Wales and Queensland, but none tougher than this man. He's the type of player, you marvel at the amount of work he gets through in 80 minutes of football. And when I decided on a captain, I had this funny vision in my own head that he looked the type of player that could hold up a shield. Sometimes you think a bloke will be captain. Can I really see him holding up the shield? Danny Badiris, for me, I had it in my mind. I could see him holding up that shield. Tonight he'll do it for the third time.
Well, Laurie, what's the Blues' approach tonight? Blown off the park in Game 2. It does seem that the opening games that we've seen, the first 15 or 20 minutes, has pretty much been dominated by one team who've gone on with it. They've been good enough to go through.
Well, tonight, it's not about the skill, it's about their aggression and it's about their desire to get the job done. I think if we're to win tonight, we've got to win the battle on the ground and we've got to win the collision with the football. When we run, we've got to run harder than Queensland. When we tackle, we've got to tackle harder than Queensland. Forget about the skill, it's just a battle of your will against another man. And if you can get on top of your opponent, I think that New South Wales can come out on top.
And you think they can do that?
I think they can do that, Fatty. I really do believe that. You're obviously sitting there quietly confident.
No, look, I'm so confident. We played great in the second game. We won't have the same latitude in this game, but the boys are really pumped up for this and they can't wait to get out there.
Well, let's go down to one man right amongst the action now, and we can go down to Andrew Johns in the New South Wales dressing shed. And Joey, I know that you've worked pretty hard closely with Mitchell Pearce going into this game. What have you focused on for the number 7 for this next 80 minutes?
Well, obviously it's a kicking game for one. It's different playing NRL to playing in State of Origin, so we've worked on his depth. Obviously Stephen Price is the one that's going to come out of the line at him, so we've worked on strategies to try to get away from him. But it's been great all week.
All right, thanks, mate. Have a good night. And Gus, a quick comment on Pearce. He's the second youngest to have ever played for New South Wales. And this is as big as it gets. Outside of a grand final after 30 first-grade games, this is as big as it gets.
It's a massive ask. You can't deny that. It is a massive ask. But I think he's up to it. I think, and particularly the fact that he's got Vautin playing in the halves with him will help him enormously. He's also got some Rooster teammates there, even some former Rooster teammates in Joel Monaghan, who he's very good friends in. You know, and the thing about it is, he believes he should be here. Whether or not we can question it's too early or not, it doesn't matter, because he's quite comfortable running out tonight in State of Origin, and he believes he can get it done, and that's all that matters.
OK, well, there is the final preparations for the Blues. There are 5 changes, as we pointed out, and this is a squad looking to win the series for the first time since 2005.
Kurt Gidley, West Newcastle.
Jared Hayne, Cabramatta. Anthony Quinn, Valentine Devils.
Joel Monaghan, Tuggeranong Buffaloes.
Matt Cooper, Shalaba Sharks.
Braithen Astor, Maroubra Lions.
Mitchell Pearce, Asquith Magpies.
Paul Gallen, Wentworthville Magpies.
Craig Fitzgibbon, Dapto Canaries.
Ryan Hoffman, Campbelltown Collegians.
Danny Vidaris, Tara United.
Ben Cross, Batemans Bay Tigers.
Brett White, Cooma Colts.
Brett Stewart, West Wollongong.
Willie Mason, Toronto Scorpions.
Anthony LaFranchi, Moolumbar Colts.
Anthony Tupou, West Newcastle.
Craig Bellamy, Cage.
A couple of changes up front there for New South Wales. That was never going to be the case for the Maroons. Sivanasiva was outstanding, so too Stephen Price. Let's go down to their dressing room. And, well, it worked last time. I'd say be welcome with open arms tonight, wouldn't you, Ben Ikin?
Still, I've got to say, I came down here specifically at the request of Melbourne Inga. I've just been in and watched the boys warm up. You can see here over my left shoulder, they've been going pretty hard at it. Some big names been in the dressing shed. He just wasn't talking to the team last night. Kevin Rudd and Wayne Swan just left. They had a look at what was going on. But I've got to say, they look very confident at the moment. They've gone through their paces very well. Melbourne Inga seems very relaxed, composed about it all. I think this is a good opportunity for Queensland to win their 3rd series in a row. The boys look as ready as I've ever seen them. So, Maroons.
Well, they have every right to be confident. Obviously no changes after that 30-0 victory in Game 2. Remarkably, they go in tonight with the same squad, the first time that either state have been able to do 17-17 in consecutive matches since 1997. And here is the side that was so successful 3 weeks ago.
Carmichael Hunt, South Acacia Ridge Magpies.
Darius Boyd, Mudgebar Redbacks.
Israel Folau, Centenary Panthers.
Greg Inglis, Barrowville Tigers.
Brent Tate, Redcliffe Dolphins.
Jonathan Thurston, South Sunnybank.
Scott Prince, Town Lions, Mount Isa.
Dallas Johnson, Overton Magpies.
Nate Miles, Southern Suburbs.
Ashley Harrison, North Aspley Devils.
Cameron Smith, Logan Brothers.
Steve Price, Newtown Lions, Toowoomba.
Petro Sivanasiva, Redcliffe Dolphins.
Michael Crocker, North Devils.
Billy Slater, Innisfail Brothers.
Ben Hannett, Burleigh Bears.
Sam Thaiday, Townsville Brothers.
Melbourne Inga.
And we welcome our viewers over in Adelaide and South Australia, live to the decider, State of Origin 3 at ANZ Stadium, which looks to me as though it's almost packed to the rafters, meaning we've got a crowd of around 80,000. There's the New South Wales team. Some late changes. Gidley, Hayne, Quinn, Monaghan, Cooper, Anasta, Pearce, Gallen, Fitzgibbon, Hoffman, Cross, White and Badiris the run-on side. And Stewart, Mason, LaFranchi and Tupou off the bench. Craig Bellamy from Melbourne, the coach. Wonderful scenes here at the Olympic Stadium. There's Queensland. Hunt, Boyd, Folau, Inglis, Tate, Thurston, Prince, Johnson, Miles, Harrison, Price, Sivanasiva, and there's the bench. Back live at the ANZ Stadium. My co-commentators have set the scene for you. And it's a wonderful scene. The sporting public, the rugby league public of Sydney have rallied to the decider. Big crowd, probably up around the 80,000 mark. New South Wales will have to record the biggest turnaround in Origin history to win the series here tonight. Off the back of that 30-0 drubbing 3 weeks ago, the Blues will have to outdo the efforts of the Queenslanders in 2001 when they came from an 18-point loss in Game 2 to win the decider with the help of one Alan Langer. 14th decider in 27 series. Queensland have won 7, the Blues only 4, but the records show that the away side has also won only on 4 occasions.
And Ray, we mentioned the record, the poor record of the Queenslanders coming to this venue, but it's quite significant. The game they won was actually Game 2 here last year, and that wrapped up the series. So if you're going to get a monkey off your back, no better way to do it. I don't think there'll be too many fears being held as they make their way out. Mel Meninga, Trevor Gilmister on the support staff, one of their great players.
Betting on the game from TAB Sportsbet, Queensland have been backed off the map. They're $1.57. It's a record hold for that organisation, TAB Sportsbet, of $4 million on the game. The Blues quoted at $2.20 before that final flood of money came for Queensland. The Maroons about to leave the sheds. Cameron Smith will lead them out for the 3rd time. He plays his 16th consecutive Origin match tonight after making his debut here in Game 3, 2003.
I'm very surprised Michael Crocker's been left on the bench. I thought that he and Ashley Harrison were unsung heroes in that second game. Didn't play a lot of minutes, but he was out there when the damage was done. But Nate Miles, who's also been very good throughout this series, will be there for the first tackle.
So Queensland about to get their reception from the New South Wales crowd. They're looking to win the series for the 3rd year in a row, a feat they have performed twice before, back in the 80s when they dominated that decade. Here they are, Queenslanders. An enormous roar goes up at the Olympic Stadium. 1-1. The decider. Right here, right now. And so, the man of the moment, Danny Medeiros, takes the Blues out for the last time. Brad Fittler said of him this week, he goes down as one of the toughest. He plays in the toughest position. And for a little bloke amongst all those big blokes, never once has he looked small. He's a very proud captain. He said there's not a moment like this. Fare thee well, Danny Medeiros. He's given us a great ride. And this youngster, in contrast, Mitchell Pearce, 19 and 86 days, the youngest ever half at Origin level.
And what a great shot of his reaction to running onto the playing surface. He is revved up, ready to go. Just got to calm the nerves now. Don't try too hard. But he'll get an early touch, he'll get an early tackle, he'll get an early kick. And he's got plenty of support.
So the team's waiting for the rendition of the anthem. It'll be performed by Jasmine Ray, a 20-year-old from Victoria, who won the Telstra Road to Tamworth Country Music Talent Competition in January. She's since been to Nashville, recorded an album. Before January, when she won the title, she hadn't been to Tamworth, hadn't been overseas, and hadn't seen a game of rugby league, which she hasn't until now. So Jasmine Ray. one of Australia's best country singers, to perform Advance Australia Fair. Finally, an affectionate pat on the head from Willie Mason to his teammates. Get out there, get us going, and I'll see you later. Jonathan Thurston, 11 consecutive Origin games. 7 from 7 he kicked in Brisbane to equal the Origin record for Queensland. Tony Archer, 3rd State of Origin. 6 penalties here in game 1, 16 in game 2. His average at club level is 12.2 penalties per game. The bench. Everything's set. Here we go. The decider. Anasta starts. Blues running to the south. First carry for Price and Pearce. Mitchell Pearce led the chase. 7 receiver now. 12 away from their own line. And the 12 is Ashley Harrison to the 20-metre line on 3. Spread to Miles on the edge. Cameron Smith, and there is a fumble from Carmichael Hunt. So the Blues get a very early opportunity. Their first tackle is on the Queensland 30-metre line. Carmichael not happy with himself. Ryan Hoffman, 27 away. And now Cross. He lost it. It's a penalty to the Blues.
And it's on.
They go in. The hit on Cross was high. The penalty's been called. Players on the ground. Players pushing, shoving.
Cameron. High shot. I'll talk to you in a minute. High shot.
Not too much to that. Ryan Hoffman was throwing a few late, and there he's looking to get involved again with Thurston.
Take him away.
Penalty for New South Wales here. Petro Sivanasiva.
I've got that originally.
Is the culprit.
Yeah, I will. I've got it, mate. Danny, Cameron.
And then gets pushed over for his efforts.
I don't think the high tackle was so bad. It was with his shoulder. It was just a good shot. Yeah, Petro, that's sweet. Right. I got the high shot straight away. It's gone out of it now. You've had your go. That's it. Anything more, go on with it, right? Yeah, good refereeing. Get on with the game. I got that. But I'm not so sure that the first shot... It's a high shot, mate. ...was all that bad. It was with the shoulder. That's bang. That's nothing.
They got him with the leading point of his left shoulder first.
Yeah.
I know it was high, but the boys just got rid of a little bit of energy there. It's good to see.
It's all good. It is going to cost them 2 points then.
And a rushing New South Wales defence there came up with the desired effect. They forced a mistake in the first set from Queensland. Carmichael Hunt overrunning the dummy half. Great speed from the defensive line to move up, and they'll be rewarded with the opening points in this game off the boot of Craig Fitzgibbon.
Ben Cross on the end of the shot from Sivanasiva. He's only played 40 minutes of football since breaking a thumb in Origin 1. Now Fitzgibbon recalled to the arena this year, missing 2006 and 2007. A record of 7 wins and 3 losses from 10 Origin appearances. And here is Fitzgibbon right on line. 2-0 New South Wales in the early minutes of Origin 3.
And that's a confidence builder. Getting reward for strong defence. Weren't aggressive in the opening 15-20 minutes. In their last game, and he was unlucky there, Sivanasiva. I'm even doubtful that it was a penalty, to be honest. I think it was a clash of the heads at the end.
Andrew on the sidelines.
Well, Ray, there was a bit of drama just before kickoff, as a matter of fact. Queensland, in fact, weren't even going to start the match once they realised Kurt Gidley was in the starting side for New South Wales. They're saying they weren't informed. They were informed about the Ben Cross in for Willie Mason, and then tit for tat they told New South Wales that Crocker's out, Nate Miles in, but they weren't told that Kurt Gidley was starting, so they fired an official protest.
So Cameron Smith kicks the ball off to get us going again. The Blues 2-0 early on, and there's that intense defence from Queensland. And that's Anthony Quinn just inside the 10-metre line. Second man play for Ryan Hoffman. Decoy given to him by Cross. Now from Badiris away to Fitzgibbon, and he's tackled just inside the 20-metre line. So the clearing kick, the responsibility of Mitchell Pearce. Second youngest New South Wales player ever. 5th youngest ever to play Origin. And Carmichael Hunt is rattled up at a good tackle by Hayne and Monahan. Thurston goes away, and the Blues hunting in numbers, trying to shut Queensland down around the play the ball. Here's Harrison now.
And New South Wales resisted any changes out there. They have left Joel Monahan on Greg Inglis. Everybody in their preferred positions.
This is Price, 35 metres away from the Blues line, with Cameron Smith taking it ahead, and then tries to straighten as he's met there by Fitzgibbon. Down on the 20-metre line, centre of the ground, running towards the northern end, and Prince it is that puts up a nice kick, and Quinn goes up, loses the ball, and there's an appeal for a try for Israel Folau, and Tony Archer points to the spot. Queensland through the air have come down with a mistake off Quinn and a try for Israel.
There was a nicely placed kick, but Anthony Quinn appeared to get a pretty good catch on this. Goes up, Folau gets knocked away, it just comes straight off the shoulder into the hands of Folau. 3 games, 3 Origin tries.
Our audience is taking the telecast in other parts of the world, particularly over in the UK. I know you're taking it live, and I know the parents of Joel Monahan will be watching. Unable to be here to see the boy debut. So Folau gets a try in each of the Origin games. This wonderful footballer from the Melbourne Storm to become a Bronco next year has put tries back to back in each of the games this year. Thurston now. 7 from 7, as I pointed out in Brisbane. Near the sideline. It's on its way. It's curling, but not enough. So 4 points to 2 after 6 minutes. The Maroons over the Blues.
Well, it's always been thought that Folau's had a height advantage there over Anthony Quinn for the 3 games, but on that occasion, didn't matter. It was just an ordinary attempt by Quinn. He always has that little mistake in him. They found him out early, and Folau, although, hasn't been heavily involved in the Origin, that's a great start for him.
They'll continue to kick that way. They did so along the ground more often than not, off the boot of Scott Prince. They had success in game 2 with Falau swooping on one of those. Whether it's an aerial attack or one along the ground, I think it's one they'll continue with.
So Queensland with Stephen Price taking the first play. At 4 points to 2, they lead, and now Sivan Asiva out to the 20-metre line, his own end of the ground. Cameron Smith going to the short side and finding Nate Miles, and now they're just beyond the 30-metre line. Cameron Smith again outside the 40-metre line, able to run quite a way before being confronted by the New South Wales defence of Fitzgibbon and White. Sivan Asiva with his second carry on this set, and it's been a very good set for them. 53 metres on 5 tackles as the ball goes away to the number 6 Thurston, and the bounce is friendly for Gidley. He comes away from his 10 and is tackled inside the 20-metre line, smothered away by Dallas Johnson in the headgear in 13. This is Jared Hayne back from suspension for game number 3. Just outside the 20-metre line then. It goes away to Brett White, and he gets it up to the 30-metre line, but there they are, 3 of them with a dominating tackle. Steve Price and Cameron Smith and Petro Sivan Asiva. Here's Cross now up towards the 40-metre line. Playing it back for Badiris, who gives it on to Anasta, who goes on to Hoffman, and Hoffman to play the ball. 3 metres his side of the halfway mark. Badiris long into the hands of Anasta, who kicks reasonably low, but it goes straight to Carmichael Hunt, and he comes back in typical Carmichael fashion, 100 miles an hour. He plays the ball 30 metres away from his own line, and now it's with Falau, who's tackled on the 40-metre line. Israel, who got the try off the mistake from Anthony Quinn. Thurston goes away to Inglis, and Inglis is taken by Hayne, and he's put down almost on the halfway line. Some help there from Joel Monahan. Thurston, it's gone to Harrison now, and Harrison is met by White and put down.
That was good work by Jared Hayne. He was obviously watching Origin 2. He's got to attack from the outside of Inglis. Joel Monahan by time. Jared Hayne come in on his outside and make the tackle. Good work.
Cameron Smith then away to Scott Prince, and Prince goes down to that corner again, and Quinn gets back there. He left the field of play, went back into the in goal, did well on a swerving run, beats a couple, fends a couple more, and that's a good effort by Anthony Quinn.
That will help him enormously, and he wins a penalty for his team. That's a good comeback after dropping the ball for the first Queensland try, to gather that one and make good ground out of his own territory, win the penalty for his team, will settle his nerves. This is going to be a cracker. I've never seen this surface as dry and as fast at this time of year for an Origin ever. This will suit both teams. This will be a cracking game.
So Badiris takes the tap, and Ben Cross heads up to the halfway line. As we travel along the dead ball line down at the southern end where New South Wales are heading. A penalty goal to open the points to Craig Fitzgibbon, then a try for Israel Folau. Folau's try coming at the 5th minute. Now it's gone away to Pearson, away to Anasta, who runs at Cameron Smith. He's held in an upright tackle for the time being before being put to ground. He's right in the centre, 32 metres out. Badiris works with Fitzgibbon, who comes back, and across for Pearce, who does well in an offload to Gidley. Gidley heading up towards the 20-metre line where he's put down and tackled. Held down there by Nate Miles. As Badiris passes, it goes to Anasta. Anasta goes high and across, and a chance, but leaping high is Darius Boyd. He got that double of tries on debut in Brisbane.
Just need to be a little bit careful, Greg Inglis, making sure he doesn't do anything illegal in shielding chases away from the kicker. Made it easy for Boyd. As Hunt got smashed again inside his own 20.
So Inglis is just outside his 20-metre line there, tackled by Fitzgibbon and White with some help from Cross. Now Price. And one of the major aims of the Blues is to try and stop the momentum, the roll that Sivan Asiva and Price generate for the Maroons. Here's Scott Prince weaving and then throwing the pass that finished up landing nowhere, and Israel Folau is left to clean it up. 37 metres out from his own line, the try scorer. Prince back to Thurston, and Thurston's kick is big, and it's moving Gidley across to his right. He comes away from the 30-metre line now. Comes to Johnson, beats him with footwork, and then is taken down by Nate Miles, the 16, and Brent Tate.
And a little victory there for New South Wales. Good defence, forcing the opposition to kick deep in their own territory, and already inside the first 2 tackles back to halfway.
So Badeiras now using Gallen, and Gallen approaching the Queensland red line at the 40-metre point. The Blues coming down the centre at the moment. Badeiras for Pearce, and Pearce in for Fitzgibbon. The youngster on debut, surrounded by Sydney Roosters. Now it's Cross, who goes up the middle and almost breaks through, with Gidley's support coming just a tad too late. They're on the last as they go to Pearce. He puts up a kick accurately. It comes down, and Queensland are with it through Thurston. So Thurston runs across and then passes for Prince, and Prince back to Thurston. Trouble brewing down the right side. Tate gets it on to Folau, and they got it back 35 metres from the in goal.
That is wonderful football by Queensland. Wonderful football, and a penalty now as the Blues marker reaches around and knocks the ball out. They took this ball in goal and managed to string passes together coming out of trouble. Fatty, they're playing with plenty of confidence.
Oh, well, of course they have, on the back of a 30-0 win. This is absolutely fantastic footy. Let's look for some space. Don't worry about the fact we're only 8 metres out from the line. Good passing, and then danger down the right-hand side with Folau.
I was giving him a rap. You didn't have to rub game 2 in straight away.
And Ryan Hoffman there ruled to have gone too early from marker. Call was a good one.
So the Maroons with Dallas Johnson this time.
He's lost that.
So that's costly. And New South Wales high-fiving each other because they know they'll get the ball back in very good field position. Andrew on the sideline again.
And Ray with me, Laurie Daley, 23 origins as a player. What did your experience tell you about the opening, Laurie?
Well, it's been a fast opening. It's time the fatigue starts to set in and you struggle for your breath. And this is the first test if you want to be an origin player. You've got to get through this period and just grow stronger and just confirm to your teammates that you're there for the long haul.
Heads in. Bend your head. Hang on. Get your weight.
So the scrum.
Heads in.
40 metres out from the New South Wales line. 4 points to 2 in favour of Queensland, and a shoulder there from Gallen. There's heavy contact between him and Cameron Smith. Now it's with Gidley. Just outside the Queensland 40-metre line. Down the blind side goes Anasta. He's thinking of passing, but a defender got between him and Cooper. Badeiras goes short to Gidley. The Newcastle combination down to the 30-metre line. Queensland's end, Badeiras comes across flat for Pearce, who turns it in for White. And Brett White to play the ball 15 metres out from the Queensland line. Again, a short side play. Cooper's over. Matt Cooper has scored for the Blues.
Well, they went the short side on a number of occasions in that set of 6. And at the end of it, they had good straight runners coming in number. Badeiras down the short side. Kurt Gidley, that is that Newcastle combination. Into the hole, Matt Cooper stretches out. New South Wales back in front.
Matt Cooper with his 3rd try in State of Origin football. And the New South Wales Risen Blues now lead 6 points to 4 with a kick to come.
Matt Cooper from Shell Harbour. Here's the New South Wales try scorer as we welcome you back, Matt Cooper. He debuted in Game 3, a decider in 2004 alongside a fellow called Mark Gasnier. And he can already scored this try to take them back to the lead.
Already see, Rabs, the most dangerous player New South Wales have got in the opening stanza has been Kurt Gidley. His footwork, his support play has been brilliant. The fact he can throw passes like that is another advantage. And look, the situation probably called for a ball nil tackle right on your own line. But Cooper stretched out too good.
Another indication of how errors at this level can be magnified. Dallas Johnson drops the ball first tackle after some wonderful work to get out from their own end. They got the penalty, but turned the football over and paid the ultimate price.
So Fitzgibbon back in the spotlight, and what a spotlight. He puts it straight between the uprights, so it's a converted try to the Blues, and they lead 8-4 after 17 minutes of the first half.
See, there's two keys to this. Number one, they went the short side on tackle 5 when Queensland were expecting the kick across field, and number two, Matt Cooper got deep and hit the ball at speed. Now, I love this bloke when he gets deep and runs onto the ball. Scott Prince is in this tackle. He's got some sort of injury coming out of that. He has struggled since making that tackle, so that's a blow for Queensland. But Matty Cooper running hard and straight. Love it.
So here's White now, taking it back and confronting the defence with his right shoulder. Andrew Voss sideline.
Rabs, there is huge drama on the Queensland bench with Scotty Prince. When that try was scored, they're actually one man down. Billy Slater had it come on for Scott Prince, who had to sprint off. Now they're checking in for a fractured arm. So that's how serious it is for Scott Prince. He went straight to the dressing room.
And there you can see Billy Slater, who is third position back at fullback, so that'll see a reshuffle in the Maroons lineup as New South Wales through Fitzgibbon goes centre field.
Yeah, that'd probably mean Hunt into 5'8" and Thurston back into halfback.
I think we've seen that before. As Mitchell Pearce gets a kick in, takes a buffeting. It was a legal shot on him, no problems. Here's Slater on the carry back, and a swerving run by Billy Slater down to the 30-metre line. Tremendous return of the kick. 8-4 as Folau is rattled up now.
Yeah, they might have got caught napping there, the New South Wales chasers. The first few kicks went down to Carmichael Hunt. He just runs straight as a gun barrel. But Billy Slater put a bit of footwork and swerve on them, and they were caught napping.
Sivanasiva plays the ball as they approach halfway. Ashley Harrison tackled at that point. Ben Ikin is down there in the sheds, I'm led to believe. Yes, Ben?
Yeah, Ray, it's not good news. I am down here in the sheds, and behind me here in the medical room is Scott Prince with Dr. Roy Saunders. It is a broken left forearm.
Come back to you. Here's Inglis flying down the left side. He looked to his left, but Boyd had gone inside. Gidley makes the tackle. Boyd would have scored had he stayed on the left side of Inglis. The kick from Smith is high in the cross, and up they go, and this time Anthony Quinn comes down with it. Ben, go back to that report you're making on Scott Prince.
Yeah, as I say, Ray, Scott Prince, broken left forearm. He's in here with the doctor right now. Will not return to the field tonight for the Queensland Maroons. Not good.
That's shocking luck for Scott Prince, Queensland, and for the Titans.
You went through, raised this. If you connected, you'd have been sitting down. Keep it out of him.
Well, there's drama there as well. Ryan Hoffman has gone through at the raised elbow. Penalty to Queensland, but they bombed a chance out here. Put that down as a bomb try. Inglis and Boyd, miscommunication.
And Cameron Smith put the kick up at the end. He was fouled by Ryan Hoffman. They keep the pressure on. Kick for touch and bring it in field 20 metres.
Trailing by 4. There's a quarter of the game passes by. Cross comes off. And Queensland set themselves up inside the Blues 20-metre line. In fact, Steve Price is right on the 10-metre line, and they are where they want to be. Cameron Smith, a little handoff for Petro Sivanasiva, taken down by Badiris. Played away for Smith, who goes to Thurston, who comes back to the left, then to Hunt, now to Slater. And Slater is held and put down. 3 of the Blues going in. Pearce one of them, Gallen another. Hunt a dummy half, goes across, passes to Thurston. Thurston hesitates there at the middle of the ground, but still they're 10 metres away from the New South Wales line. Smith then, to the right. He goes across the face of Hunt and goes out to Price. And Steve Price will play the ball on tackle 5. Last tackle now for the Maroons. They go back deep for Thurston. A little kick in. Monahan struggles. Hayne comes away with the ball. Line dropout.
That was a terrible set of 6 from Queensland. It ends on a good note because they get the kick into the in goal. But I think now that they're awake that Scott Prince has left the field. Here's the bust down the left-hand side. There was no call on the inside there from Darius Boyd. He would have scored underneath the post. Here's the Hoffman one on Cameron Smith. That was Melbourne teammate on Melbourne teammate.
Yeah, Gus, the Queenslanders look flat and they're rattled. Well, Thurston's gone to halfback. He needs to once again assume control.
I don't think the rest of the team knew, Fatty. I think they've only just found out now that Scott Prince has left the field.
So here's Thurston coming in from the deep to take the line drop out and immediately goes to Steve Price as Brett White comes off for the Blues. Thurston, the dummy half.
Yeah, both Mason and LaFranchi are on for New South Wales. As Miles tries to make it to the 30-metre line.
Right in the centre of the ground. Smith to the right they go for Hunt this time, and then away to Crocker. And Michael, who's come off the bench in this game, will be made to play the ball 25 metres away from the line. Now it's come away with Cameron Smith. He's able to run quite a distance across the ground before linking up with Price. Sivanasiva has come off to make way for Crocker. Smith again, then for Thurston. Dummies, and then double pumps it before giving it to Inglis. But it was well read in defence by Paul Gallen. Smith then across for Thurston. Thurston kicks again at Anthony Quinn, and the jump. They've got it again. They have got it again, and it's Israel Folau flying through the air like Superman.
Did you see that?
I did. I think I did.
How good's that?
Well, there's no reply. How do you combat that? A marvellous kick across. He was under pressure, Jonathan Thurston, but he got the ball pinpoint again. Badeiros, Mason coming through to clean him up. And Israel Folau, I think he went a bit early. He had to hang up there. Comes over the top, Quinn goes up early, stays up, extends, and then has the presence of mind coming down awkwardly just to put the football down one hand.
He could have stood on Anthony Quinn's shoulders.
Yeah, it was a marvellous leap, which leads me to ask the question again, why did they play him on the left wing in Origin 1? This is what I thought we would see in the first game of the series. They had him playing on the left, never got a chance on Quinn, who has shown an inability to leap for the ball. Perfectly placed by Jonathan Thurston. Wow.
That's brilliant. And once it was a mistake, Gus. They made a mistake in the first game. They've admitted that. They got him back on the right. And look, check him for a cape. Is there a cape with an S on it? That is just brilliant. Then the put down as well.
Is there a phone booth and a set of horn-rimmed glasses anywhere?
The put down was as spectacular as the leap.
Actually, he almost jumped into the screen of our aerial camera. He was that high. We couldn't get high enough for you, Israel. Youngest player ever to play Test football for his country. Rookie of the year last year. Fourth youngest ever to play Origin. And has scored in this series now 4 tries.
And a difficult chance here for Jonathan Thurston to put his side back in front. He'll have learnt from his first one. He pushed that one right. And the good kickers, they make allowances for a mistake. This will be much straighter.
Thurston.
Oh, pushed it again.
And he's pushed it out to that left-hand side of the uprights. So it's 8 points all after 24.
Peter, I was down at ground level earlier, and the wind is pretty fluky down there. It's swirling, and I think it's got Jonathan Thurston a little further. Look at this again. Look at that again. And then getting the ball down. That is absolutely incredible. Mind you, both Queensland tries off kicks at the moment. There's not much in this at all.
So we go back to our seats after the young man on the right wing for Queensland again has the entire stadium on their toes as Cameron Smith bungles the kick-off, but then he recovers and gets it back into the field of play. And Fitzgibbon is slow to rise and hobbling a little bit.
How did he do that? How did he keep that ball in? Unbelievable.
And here's a replay.
What's this? He's dropped it behind him. He's not going to fall over the dead ball line. He knows he can't do it to pick it up. Steve Price raced in. He said, no, let me have it. And off he went. Brilliant stuff.
Played by Johnson, and Price it is who gets involved before the ball finds Thurston. And he's taken by Mitchell Pearce. And there's the strapping on Scott Prince's broken arm as Carmichael Hunt kicks down the ground. The bounce is high. And Anthony Quinn is beaten to the ball by Cooper, who got the New South Wales try at the 15th minute. Folau has been over the line twice at the 5th and 22nd minutes. And play is now 5 metres on the Queensland side of halfway. So Cooper it is, away from dummy half, playing left side. And it's left Joel Monahan defending on Greg Inglis. Here is Mason and Cross and White. The starting props are back on the bicycles as Badeiros makes a good run and gets a penalty.
Over there.
Gets a penalty.
Well, the ruck interpretation for tonight was about attacking momentum. rewarding attacking momentum by allowing the quicker play the ball. The man carrying the football didn't have momentum. The defensive side would have more time to hold down. Well, there's plenty of attacking momentum there from Danny Badiris, and he caught them offside. And again, Craig Fitzgibbon will step up, hitting them sweetly.
Interesting, would have been a nice set of 6 inside the Queensland 20, but I think New South Wales realised points are at a premium in this game in the decider, and it's better to get the 2-point lead. I'm
absolutely gutted for Scott Prince. A few more likeable players in the game. Played Test football back in 2005. Has had disappointment after disappointment. 2 horrible broken legs. Gets back into Origin football. Arguably the best player in the NRL this season to date, and there he is.
And all Titans fans will be gutted as well.
Can be a very, very cruel game at times, but he'll be back. He's that kind of kid, or young man, I'm sorry.
Craig Fitzgibbon now holds the record for scoring more points at premiership level than any forward in history. His third shot, 2 from 2, 20 in. And just off centre, the flag's in the air again. It's 10-8. Two tries to 1 in favour of Queensland. The scoreboard, though, 2 points in favour of the Blues. Back live at the stadium, the ANZ Olympic Stadium, and Queensland take us into the net. Oh, Mason and Crocker came together. Mason to play the ball 10 metres out from his own line. They go back to Gallen with Fitzgibbon doing some work off the ball. There's Crocker, formerly from Sydney Roosters, making that tackle on a former teammate, Craig Fitzgibbon now. With the help of Johnson and Smith, Badiris just flicks the ball up neatly to LaFranchi, and he'll play the ball 33 metres away from the New South Wales line. Again, they're guarding the northern end, the Blues, as Gallen goes up the middle, pops the ball out. Badiris was alert. The ball went to Anasta. And Anasta, one of a quartet of players, he's lost the ball. A quartet of players that were here when New South Wales last lofted the silverware at the presentation in 2005. Fitzgibbon was here, Cooper was here.
Raith and Astor there trying to come up with a quick play the ball. Ray, he was disappointed that there was contact from Crocker and that Carmichael Hunt was still down around the leg area. The referee saying that firstly the defender wasn't allowed a time to get out of there, and he just lost the football.
So Queensland with Brent Tate, who made 33 tackles in that match in Brisbane 3 weeks ago. And this is Nate Miles, who plays the ball just inside the 40-metre line, Blues end of the park. Smith goes right, Crocker's with it, and Crocker is 32 metres away from the New South Wales line. 10-8 in favour of the home side. Reminding you that only 4 away sides have won deciders. Thurston to Hunt, and a couple of second-man plays, and Hayne is out cold. Slater is with the ball, and Archer has called timeout immediately.
Yeah, it looked like a fairly innocuous tackle that he was trying to make. Maybe his head's connected with the hip, and there's a bit of drama in there now as well. Bit of passion, good to see.
Billy, over here, mate, play the ball.
I've got no doubt when we have a look at the replay that Jared Hayne will have got his head in the wrong position. Coming in, takes the hip rump area of Billy Slater. But he's sitting up, and that's a good sign.
Well, the good sign is that he's up there. He's up there putting pressure on them. If you remember in game 2, they sat back and had the winger back another 20 metres, and Inglis and Darius Boyd got on their outside very comfortably. At least Joel Monahan and this man Jared Hayne have got up in their face, trying to force the issue. And it's paying dividends. He'll take the knock. It's Origin. You've got to get on with it.
So here is Harrison, who'll play the ball as play resumes. Hayne back in position, and apparently quite okay. Thurston's kick Bouncing up for Quinn, who's had a busy night. He made a mistake that allowed Folau's first try, but you couldn't defend against Folau's second try. Here's a ball down, picked up by Hoffman. Knock on is ruled. And Archer is ordering a Queensland feed, I fancy.
Boys are saying Archer called Queenslanders offside, but the referee can't remember that. It was knocked forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a New South Wales feed here.
Yeah.
This will be a New South Wales feed.
It is.
What it should have been was play on and zero tackle.
Head in, Sam.
So Pearce it is who feeds for the Blues. And Gallen, standing away from his pack, takes the first play. Got a ball away. That's a good pass from Gallen. Away from Pearce. Has gone on to Hay. Puts the light work together with the feet. And Boyd is there to wrap him up, together with Inglis defending down left side. Here is LaFranchi. He saw the kamikaze coming at him, Carmichael Hunt, and put on a little step to get around him. From Badeiras then to Mason, and Mason is pulled down 5 metres on his side of halfway. From dummy half again, Badeiras passes it halfway. Gallen is with the ball. He fends and he pushes and goes to Cooper. Cooper and Crocker, they confront each other. And Cooper eventually is upended and put down by Thurston together with Folau. Then to Anasta, and the ball popped up to Hoffman. Lost the ball in the tackle. And the scrum will go down just outside the Maroons' 30-metre line.
Tony Archer saying loose carry here. Hoffman. Well, there's contact with the ball. I don't think it's a strip. I would hate to see a penalty there.
The crowd might be booing, but...
Yeah, the loose carry.
Exactly. Went 80 minutes in both game 1, game 2. Would expect to do the same tonight, I would imagine. Cameron Smith coming across in cover defence. Please don't change this decision. No. Scrum. Queensland feed.
So Thurston to Brent Tate back at their 30-metre line, and they take it ahead to the 40, where LaFranchi makes the tackle on Tate, who came into Origin on the back of only 13 NRL games. He had an incredible year of entry into the top bracket of the game. Here is Nate Miles to play the ball. 5 metres into New South Wales territory, 10-8 the score, and we're at the 32nd minute of the first half of the decider. As Tate gets a ball away, Slater is on the halfway. Folau does the dance with Quinn, and eventually has his legs taken by Anasta. It's Hunt who gives the ball from the ground at dummy half to Crocker, who's 41 metres out from the Blues line. The ball to Thurston on the blind side. He puts a kick over down into the corner. Gidley is there with the ball now, and Gidley is back towards the 10-metre line.
See, I know Jonathan Thurston is a great halfback, but he hasn't trained there with this Maroon side for the last 2 Origins. Scott Prince has. They look totally disorganised since the Prince injury. And with Thurston and Carmichael Hunt in the halves, they're back to where they were in game 1. They're just struggling for creativity.
I think where they're losing it, Gus, is there's a lack of straight and hard running by the forwards. They're trying to go wide too early in the tackle kit.
Badeiras then looking to get a penalty, and he gets it down to the halfway line. He's been on a mission to get so many penalties from that dummy half run. He succeeded a couple of times. The kick is good, finding the line just inside the 10 at the Queensland try line almost.
It's a nice kick, but I think Queensland will appreciate this rest as much as anyone out there. Looking a little bit tired, that's for sure, as we head into half-time.
No doubt the absence of Scott Prince has thrown them for a loop. They haven't recovered from it all. Mal Meninga's got plenty of work to do at the break to get this sorted out. As Gus pointed out, it is the same formation they had in the opening match. But at the moment, they look nonplussed with the football. And it is New South Wales with the momentum going into half-time.
So the Blues getting themselves offside. They had to correct that. Queensland locking the ball in the scrum. And I noticed a couple of the New South Wales players, oh, gee, that's a big hit on Friday. And I think it's Mason. Yes, it was, the big number 8. He hit Sam Friday hard. Here's Miles with the ball now. Back on his 20-metre line, third tackle, sound of the whistle, penalty Queensland.
You're slowing it up.
That's a bad penalty. That's a bad penalty. That's a really bad penalty because they were on top there. You just got the feeling momentum was with the Blues. It was third tackle Queensland going nowhere. And now they give him a kick, relieve the pressure. and a full set of 6. Dumb penalty.
Queensland taking the tap, and Friday not as vigorously ahead this time. Is met by Fitzgibbon and Mason. Now they go to Crocker, who tries to find a hole in behind to play the ball. As, the 17 is about to come into the game, Anthony Tupou. And Johnson is in the middle of the 4X sign on the 30-metre line. Blues end of the park, Smith, then Thurston, who tries to duck under Hoffman. Thurston to play it, 20 away. Smith comes away to the left side and allowed to again run quite some distance before Gallen makes the arrest on him. Thurston inside for Slater, a kick by Slater. The ball bouncing around willy-nilly, and the Blues come up with it. Gidley eventually saving the day. They were in dire straits there for a moment. Anything could have come from that. Gidley at the back, Stewart still not used, the Manly fullback. This is what happened. Slater, it came off Gidley. There's a chance there for Johnson, but Gidley closed it down. 40-metre line, Blues into the park, and here's Mitchell Pearce, who's done very, very well. Mason got the ball around the corner there for Gidley. And it'll be played slowly. Crocker didn't bring a penalty. I thought he would have. Gallen passes and Pearce goes very high, and it comes down to Darius Boyd. The chasers were there half an hour early waiting for this ball to come down off the boot of Mitchell Pearce.
Well, that's as good a take as you'll see in any game. That spiralling torpedo was beautiful from Pearce. Kurt Gidley's been their best player in New South Wales. Mike Wordy's had a big game, but the forwards have really muscled up as well. Craig Fitzgibbon, 24 tackles. Gallen's made 18.
And the youngster in the 7 for the Blues, not phased, I wouldn't think, one iota by the occasion. He's playing a cool, calm game, appearing to do a job well beyond his years. As Cameron Smith drills it down the park, and Hayne didn't have to move. He comes back and hits the accelerator. He'll play the ball 33 metres away from his own line. Tackled by Harrison. Ball goes away to Gidley. Harrison, of course, will more than likely back up on Friday for a match between Manly and the Titans. And obviously no Scott Swinson in that game now. Here's another one that'll be on show. Anthony LaFranchi playing the ball just into Queensland's territory. Here's a Nasta starting to build up some speed. He'll play the ball on the red line. They're 40 metres away. Gidley is there, down the blind side, and Gidley thought about passing, but Inglis wrapped him up and shut the arm down that would have thrown the pass. Badiris to Pearce, and there's Cameron Smith making things uncomfortable, but Slater's in goal. It'll go back to 20.
Good pressure there from the Maroons. Got up quickly on Pearce, made him kick a little longer than he would have liked. Just got the impression here. We're a minute 40 up from half-time. The Blues are in touch. Here it is, Cameron Smith coming through on Pearce. Just disrupted the kick. I think the Blues are on top here, Rabbits.
This is Michael Crocker. Playing the ball just outside the 30-metre line for Brent Tate to make some metres down the right side, and then veering back to the centre. Cameron Smith for Nate Miles, and Miles with a carry and a gritty run by Miles. Plays the ball after being tackled by Badiris. Smith's pass goes astray. Picked up on the bounce by Harrison. It's found Inglis. It's found Boyd. Boyd down the left side. He kicks into the centre for Carmichael Hunt, who dives on the loose ball, but a knock-on is there. Beautiful stuff. Inglis and Boyd, and finally Hunt. So it was a pretty faulty start. It was a bumpy takeoff. And it was probably a bumpy ending, but there were some wonderful skills exhibited, and a tiny knock-on by Hunt as Thurston lays down the law. He knows that they've lost one of their key units in Scott Prince, and they're back basically to where they were in game 1. With Carmichael pushing up and Slater back into his regular position. That's not worrying them one iota either. In fact, he's been very good, Slater. He's worried New South Wales. Here's a Nasta pushing it across to Cooper. We got the try at the 15th minute for the Blues. Cooper playing it on the 30-metre line. Quinn dummies to Gidley and takes it away from the sideline to the tune of about 10 metres or so. He'll play the ball when allowed. Brent Tate slow to get out of the road. Gidley trying to make some space between the markers, but there is the hooter. The end of the first 40 minutes in the decider, and it's a 10-8 lead for Craig Bellamy's side, New South Wales over Queensland. Coming up in halftime, the Gatorade Gatorcam tracks Mitchell Pearce. We're halfway through the decider here on Channel 9, where we've had a big year so far, and it's only just the beginning. And we are back at ANZ Stadium just prior to the start of the second half, with the New South Wales side leading Queensland by 2 points. Queensland leading in the try-scoring tally. Allowed the 5th and 22nd. Cooper at the 15th. And of course, as the boys have pointed out, tragically the game has lost Scott Prince, the number 7 with a broken arm. So Queensland, they'll have to call on all of their recovery powers again tonight. Their record of coming back from a halftime deficit is good. 12 times they've done it. The Blues have done it only on 5 occasions. In the last 8 games, Queensland have come from behind, did you say, David? Have outscored the Blues. In the last 8 games, they've outscored the Blues on 7 occasions. So that's a sort of a pretty good record to take in, even though you've got one of your great playmakers down.
That's David Middleton, the guru.
Yeah, the guru. Jonathan Thurston and Nate Miles, who played unbroken the first 40.
New South Wales won Origin 1 here pretty comfortably, but in that game, Queensland scored a late try in the first half and a late try in the second half. They scored the last try of both halves. Now, it didn't matter at that occasion, but it will matter tonight. The scores will be close at the back end. It's whether or not New South Wales can hold Queensland out when it really matters, because so often they've come up with that last-minute saviour to get them a victory. This is going to go down to the wire, right down to the wire.
Danny Badeiras takes his last Origin side out. The second half, breaking Brad Fittler's captaincy record, leads them for the 15th time. He debuted in 2002. The man from Taree. He breaks Paul Harrigan's record of most number of consecutive Origins in playing 21 tonight.
And coming into this game, captain 14 times, 7-7, 7 wins, 7 losses. Would love to finish on the right side of the ledger before heading overseas next year, and if he does win tonight, to break Brad Fittler's record of the amount of wins as captain.
Shots of a magnificent crowd here at ANZ Stadium. We often become critical of this cavernous stadium when there's basically 10,000 people here and less, but tonight, with a crowd I would think bordering on 80,000, it's a wonderful atmosphere. Great place to be and to see this great sporting spectacle as the second half is underway. Queensland down by 2, running from left to right, and on the charge is Tupou, and he leaves Crocker on the ground for a moment. Tupou to the 20-metre line there. For Badeiras to go to the right and pick up Gallen. Gallen running at Cameron Smith. Smith many times has been the target for these runs on the edge, and it's forced him to make almost 20 tackles in the game as Friday makes that tackle on Lafranchi, and here's Mason getting his knees high as he gallops up towards halfway. And Johnson was there with Crocker and Smith again. Badeiras again to the right, and the way off the boot of Mitchell Pearce goes bouncing down towards Billy Slater, who brings it back towards the 20-metre line. Gee, and there he'll play the ball.
Sorry, Ray, that was an impressive set to start the second half. That was outstanding. It was power play from New South Wales. Not the greatest kick from Pearce, but they were in such good position it didn't make much difference.
Here's Tate. 33 metres out from his own line. Brett Tate taken down by Hoffman. And now Hunt at first receiver, just catch and pass away to Nate Miles. We'll go down to Andrew Johns in just a moment to see what was said by Craig Bellamy at halftime. Played by Miles, Smith spins it away. Thurston throws the dummy, takes the tackle on the halfway line. And 5 tackles gone now for the Maroons as it goes back to their captain. The kick is a rebound. It goes back to Slater. And Slater aims up to kick again. Gets it away to Smith. Charged down Pearce. Taken by Inglis. Inglis down the left side. Haynes got a job to do. Thaiday comes in.
He's called it back.
I'll tell you why he's offside. He's offside. He's inside the 10, right? Even though they charge the ball down, he's got to be outside that 10. I got the call late. No, that's the reason. Mate, but you're inside the 10. You cannot be put onside.
Doesn't mean if they played it,
yeah.
Don't they put everyone onside?
No, he's got to be outside the 10. That's the rule, mate.
So we get the kick here from Cameron Smith, and Greg Inglis is 8 metres in front. And despite the charge down,
up here, mate,
he can't be onside. He's offside immediately.
Hold in, boys.
So disappointment there for Queensland, but perseverance here from New South Wales to get to the kicker.
Well, it's a huge result for them, isn't it? A couple of charge downs, then the penalty on the back of it. It's a beauty.
So here's Mason now, taking it towards the middle of the ground. They're 30 metres away from the Queensland line, just as it looked like it was going to be a Queensland try down the other end. Here's Gidley showing it to Cooper on the inside and taking the tackle there of Brent Tate together with Carmichael Hunt. It's gone to Anasta and he gives the ball away to Anthony Tupou. And he will play the ball 11 away from the line. Just play the 6 out before going to Andrew as it goes from Badeiros and goes right for Anasta. Gidley's with him, but Anasta it is who takes the tackle. Johnson and Smith making the tackle, 2 of the smaller forwards, Badeiros. Then it goes to Pearce, little kick back on the inside, looking for Gidley. Gidley went for it, oh, it's there, Stacks on the mill. It's dived on by Cooper, and Archer wants to look at this one.
Check whether or not he got
It's
taken
almost
out.
indescribable. The ball was bouncing around like a cork in the ocean, but they've appealed for a try.
And it might well be Braithen Astor who's got the important hand down here. A deft kick, and it was only Dallas Johnson patrolling immediately in front of goal. The chaser is onside. He's behind the kicker, not left the boot. Johnson unable to get it. Nate Miles is there, gets a bad bounce. Is there a knock on there from the New South Wales player?
Badeiros. It would appear so. The chaser might have been offside, but Badeiros is offside.
Well, I got to say that Braithen Astor played the ball, and he was never outside 10 metres. It's whether or not the kicker overran him, and I don't think he did. There's a knock on there, but I think if he goes backward, Braithen Astor is 5 metres in front of the kicker.
So we're saying Queensland penalty for offside.
Should be Queensland penalty for offside on Anasta.
So Bill Harrigan and Tim Mander, no try and a penalty goes to the Queenslanders, and rightly so. Scott Prince now just a member of the onlookers.
We're getting a message through that it wasn't for offside, it was for taking a man out in the challenge of the ball, which I find ridiculous. Anasta was definitely 5 metres in front of the kicker, but they've come up with a penalty anyway. Right decision, wrong way.
So Miles will play the ball 8 metres on his side of halfway. Thaiday wants a run. He's with the football. He slips and goes down on the halfway line to be put down eventually by LaFranchi. Smith across the face of Thurston, picking up Harrison, and Harrison will play the ball 40 metres out from the New South Wales line. Ashley Harrison plays it. It's out with Thurston now. He showed it once, gave it to Thaiday, and Thaiday will play the ball. 10-8 the score in favour of the Blues. Early days, second half, as Smith takes it up towards the 20-metre line. 3 of the Blues going to make the tackle. Tupou, Badeiros involved, and so too was Pearce. Getting through a lot of tackling. The young number 7, here's Thurston, who was pulled out of the game after trying to pursue the kick and gets a penalty. It was Paul Gallen.
Well, that's another dumb penalty from Paul Gallen. He had one in the first half, and there was nothing on here. They had forced Thurston to run. They'd saved the bomb across field for Folau. Thurston put the grubber kick through,
and then he's dragged back. Now, I think it was Gallen. I'll apologise if it's not. No, it's Paul Gallen. Had no reason to play at that, and Nasta had the kick covered. Had it covered.
I mean, you're right, Phil. Queensland are flat, and they're playing slow motion football. That was a terrible end to the set. It was going nowhere.
They've got no attack.
I'll tell you what they need. They need it as soon as possible. Is to get both Sivana and Stephen Price out on the field. Get them some go forward.
Well, I think Mal Meninga's saving them up for as long as possible.
Well, yeah, make the times now.
Yeah, I think
because they need them.
With 34 minutes to go, you might be very close. They could be getting warmed up very quickly, but the number of times Cameron Smith has to run without support is indicative that there's no calls out there. There's no one talking. They're not really sure what they're doing.
So here's the leveller from Thurston's boot. And 10 points all to score now. Andrew Johns down on the sideline. What was said at half-time, Andrew?
Yeah, the coach was fairly happy, Rabs, as you can imagine. In attack, he spoke about our halves pushing up flatter on the advantage line. Thinks we can exploit around the ruck a bit more when Danny Medeiros comes out. And in defence, he spoke about watching Thurston. Now he's our main focal point of attack with Prince off, so really watch out for him.
We were talking at halftime about Brett Stewart, just how he's going to get him into the game with Gidley playing so well.
Well, I think if Medeiros comes off for a rest, Gidley will go to hooker and Brett Stewart will go to fullback.
All right, Joey, thank you very much for that. As New South Wales get us going again, the score level at 10 points all. And we are at the 7th minute of the second half as the ball is played by Miles and it's gone away to Sam Thaiday, who plays it now 25 metres out from his own line. Smith going behind Johnson, away to Thurston, and Thurston on to Harrison now. And he's met and pulled down by the half Pearce together with Monahan, the two debutants. And the first of that kind to do that in the decider since Cooper and Gasnier, as I said, back in 2004. They did it successfully. Are Monahan and Pearce going to do it tonight? The ball bouncing around and it's picked up by Gidley. He comes outside the 20. He runs to Tate and Tate clamps him down just inside the 30-metre line. Quinn in 5, giving it to Cooper in 4, and Cooper will play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. 10 points all and 7 minutes of the second half gone as Johnson makes a diving, sliding tackle, gets some help from Friday. Big cross, nearly got himself off. Oh, picked up and cartwheel. Now they go in again from all over the park. They're not happy with the treatment on Cross again.
Yeah, I think you find it might have been Nate Miles. There's Ben Cross throwing some uppercuts in there. There was momentum in the tackle. It ended up worse than it was going to be.
Danny. Well, I think it was an accident.
All the players away.
I'll be interested in the replay. It wasn't your normal sort of spear. I think Cross dived onto the ground. Cross goes over to him. Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah, it's Nate Miles, the man who'll be penalised at best. Going low, cartwheeling. He comes down in the worst position possible, Ben Cross. But again, fortunately, Ben Cross is up, as you can see.
Nearly hit his own teammate there.
I was just going to say, Anthony Quinn was, I don't know whether he's trying to quell the blue.
Hey, dangerous position, right?
Miles.
It's on report.
On report.
Right. Anthony.
And Quinn, you'll notice he comes from a fair way away to get involved, and now he's being called out. He almost took a haymaker from Ben Cross for his trouble.
Mate, you came in. I already had the tackle live, right?
You hold him, mate.
Mate, don't come. Just calm him down.
That was a very dangerous tackle.
Yeah, I know, and it's on report, and that's how I've dealt with it. Don't run in, because you were the one sitting down, right? Keep a calm head.
Mate, the ruck.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Danny, you're getting the roll. Don't
Ben
worry.
Cross has been on the end of a couple now. We've had a couple of little outbursts, and he was on the end of a shot from Sivana, which we thought wasn't too bad right at the start of the game, and now he's on a cartwheel tackle, dangerous position for Miles.
And Nate Miles straight off. Sivana now out there.
Well, this is what Paul Vautin was calling for, to get Sivana and Price back into the game. And here's Cross, who's put down 15 metres away from the Queensland line. Tackled by Crocker, a chance for the Blues. Medeiros and Pearce combine for Hoffman up the middle, and he's picked up by Crocker and put away with the help of Johnson. Then it's gone from Badira's, gone away to Gidley up at first receiver before giving it to Mason, running an inside passage. And now it's with Badiras. He's looking for Cooper, but he takes the tackle of Johnson again with Sivanasiva.
He was a mile offside, Dallas Johnson.
Cooper this time. It goes wide and deep to Pearce and wide to Anasta. Inside ball to Frankie, and he'll be made to play the ball on tackle 5, 9 metres away from the Queensland line. Play back, Badiras, then to Anasta, a little kick. I thought it might have rebounded off the heels of a blue that was in front of him. It's with Thurston now. And Thurston to play the ball inside the 20-metre line. Sivanasiva is with it. And Petro, who together with Steve Price formed the oldest front row combination in Origin history. Beatson and Rod Morris shared it up until this series. And here is Smith taking it on a carry that gets him just outside the 30-metre line before Cross it is who makes the tackle together with Tupou. Now, up the middle they go, the Queenslanders, almost to the halfway line. It was Billy Slater. He plays it for Thurston. The kick is coming from Smith, and LaFranchi put a shot on him. It looked okay. The elbow was a little bit high. Gidley is with the ball. Outside the 10. Comes to Greg Inglis. Good tackle, Inglis. And that puts Gidley down. Hayne then, a quick play the ball, scooping pickup, and then he goes across the ground. And Queensland love that. They pick him off. Brent Tate and Greg Inglis, the two centres making the tackle. You don't see that very often in the modern game. Here's Hoffman, and he'll play the ball 25 metres away from the Blues line. Playing it for Badiras, and Badiras' pass looks suspect. It's with Mason, and Mason will play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. The big fella who came on as a bench player tonight was named in the right-hand side. Cross is hit there by 3 other Queenslanders. Sivanasiva and Johnson and Friday. Now to wait for Pearce, and there's a rebound. It might have come off Tupou. It's gone back. It's taken by Gidley, and Gidley is tackled back there by Greg Inglis.
Now it came off Michael Crocker, and the fact he ran up and turned his back, the referee has ruled that he was playing at the football. In fact, Crocker is still down, middle of the field, 42 out from the Newcastle, from the New South Wales line.
Here's Anthony Quinn now, almost on halfway. Crocker still recovering. In fact, he's got no feeling in the legs at all.
Well, the trainer is calling for the referee to stop, and he will do so now, despite the fact he's 40 metres away.
Well, Mick Crocker's in awful trouble.
Well, he must have copped this ball fair in the noggin to have knocked him out like that.
I got the cord over there.
Here's the kick.
4th tackle.
Oh, been knocked out by the football.
Was it the football or was it the follow-through from Mitchell Pearce's boot?
No, it was a football. Hit him fair in the back of the head and buried his neck sideways. That was a rough jolt.
This is a very tough rugby league player. And as you can see, his legs are like jelly. Stephen Price getting ready to come back in 8. Neil Henry alongside Mal Meninga as Crocker is escorted from the field. Here it is again. Yeah, it's simply the football hitting him on the back of the head, bending the neck and rendering him unconscious.
And he doesn't want to come off. He wants to go back in there, but he's got no clue where he is.
Not quite sure if he was unconscious.
Oh, nearly.
I guarantee he'll come back though.
How can you be nearly unconscious?
Well, he was out on his feet, put it that way. He had no command over the limbs, that's for sure. Thankfully, he looks to be not only distressed, but he seems to be recovering quickly. Here's Mason charging up the middle. 22 metres out from the Queensland line. The tackle was made again by Johnson. Now Badiras, here's Anasta kicking down into that corner. The jump is on. It's with Monaghan. Monaghan, he unloaded, but it went to ground, and Inglis has got the ball for the Maroons.
Yeah, I think it was Mitchell Pearce. It was a great take from Monaghan. He too is very good in the air. And Pearce supporting, got hit as he caught it.
Willie hold!
And we play in the Canberra centre. Joel Monaghan on debut, got a pass away to the other man on debut, Pearce.
Lost.
But here's Hayne. Hayne coming across the 20-metre line before trying to straighten. Taken down by Sam Thaiday and Dallas Johnson again. Now it's with Anasta. Inside ball for Hoffman. And Hoffman will play the ball. Very close to the line. At 10 points all, Badira's second man and wide for Pearce to go in for Gidley. and a diving save by Sivanasiva. Gudeiras, a long pass out for Pearce, and Pearce to Anthony Tupou. Tupou looking to get his arms free. He does. Gets it away to Gudeiras, who beats Thurston. Gets the pass away, and it's with Monaghan on the right side. So he'll play it 3 metres away from the corner post. As Gudeiras fires the ball out to Mitchell Pearce, he steps up his left foot. He jinks and tries to go through, challenging the line himself that time. 3 metres away from the try line. As Gudeiras fires it back, and Nasta is with it. He puts a kick in, looking for Quinn and Falau. The big fella goes up, Falau comes down and beats them, gets it away to Tate, and Tate is tackled.
Oh, he
lost the football too.
That's a heavy tackle over the top.
Penalty to Queensland.
Ben Cross. He got him for a rake, but what about Falau then? Doesn't just leap to score tries, leaps to save them.
Well,
Beautiful stuff.
It was great football from the Blues, and it was awesome defence from Queensland. And that play, to catch it, come down, and then look for the offload. Tremendous play by Falau.
And Ray, we've now got Brett Stewart into the action for the first time tonight. Slots back into the fullback role. And Danny Gudeiras has left the field. Gidley will go to dummy half.
Played by Thaiday, and it's with Sivanasiva now on the halfway line. Scott hasn't seen a lot of football through the series. The front row forward back there on the benches with Craig Fitzgibbon. This is Stephen Price, and Danny Gudeiras, the captain, comes to the bench as it goes from Smith to Thurston, who shows it twice, gives it the third time to Slater. Slater away to Falau, down the right side, dribbles a kick in, it's covered, he's lost the ball in the tackle, it's gone over the sideline, and it was a chance for Queensland. Braithen Astor it was.
And finally, a bit of room to move, nice set play. Once again, it was almost slow motion, but they got the ball to the right man in Falau, speed down that touchline, and it was a Nasta back to save the day. Lost it in the end, but if he hadn't have been there, it was try time for Queensland.
It was a really bad read from Anthony Quinn. He did not have to go in on the player. He gave them the saloon passage on the outside. Just have a look here. They slide across. Cooper is sliding. Now he's got him covered. Cooper's got Billy Slater. Anthony Quinn had to stay out, but instead Falau was given room. And Braithen has to save the day, but it may not be saved completely.
Here they come again with Inglis, a swerving run, leading him over towards Darius Boyd on the left side. 10 metres out from the New South Wales line at 10 points all. Inglis for Hunt, and now it's back for Harrison. He'll play the ball. 20 metres in from touch on the eastern side of the ground. Smith for Sivanasiva to come back to the centre. Thurston goes back to Slater. Slater away. Beautiful catch by Brent Tate. He tries to go inside the 10 and is tackled 8 metres out by Cross together with Anasta. Now Smith finding Thaiday, and Thaiday puts the head down, gets to a metre down on the southern try line. And he's lost the ball in getting up to play.
Yes! And on the previous play, had Brent Tate not slipped, I think he had a possibility of a 2-on-1 to get Falau away. It was wonderful quick hands by Billy Slater. And Brent Tate just took a slip. Here's Thaiday heading towards the line, trying to get up quickly and play the ball, just drops it cold. This will be a New South Wales feed. But had Brent Tate not slipped, there was another opportunity for Lau down this right.
Yes. To work the scrum. Archer wanting Cameron Smith to get down in the scrum. And Pearce feeds it in. Thurston almost was able to rake it from his hands. And it's with Anthony Tupou, who will play the ball 20 metres out from his own line. And it's Gidley at dummy half now. This is Hayne. And he's tackled 22 metres out from his own try line. Gidley then going away to Cross on the left, and Cross is bent over and put down on his back in a really good tackle from Sivanasiva. Cross playing it, and it's come away from Mason now, and Thaiday takes the big fella's legs. Thurston goes up the top. They're on the 40-metre line as it goes from Gidley. It goes away to Pearce, who tries to step at right and left foot.
And Sivanasiva
tackled on tackle number 5 now. Sivanasiva again involved in the tackle. Anasta driving the kick down to Slater. What a beautiful pickup on the half volley from Slater.
That'll give a coach heart
back inside the 30.
That'll give a coach heart failure, the way he attacked that ball. My God.
What about his hands? How good are they?
What about that?
Here's Falau now. Just outside the 30-metre line, centre of the ground, Queensland's end. Here's Price taking it to Gidley. Mason jumping on over the top on the 40-metre line.
And Ben Hannant out there now for Queensland. Hasn't played many minutes in game 2 and comes on late in game 3. Fresh legs out there.
Sivanasiva to play the ball just into Blues territory. Smith giving it away to Johnson. Johnson, who must have reached enormous proportions with his tackling. 37 he's made, Dallas Johnson. 37, and there's a mile of time still to go in the game. Something like 23 minutes as the ball comes down, and Brett Stewart is taken by Brent Tate. 5 metres out from the line, it's with Anthony Quinn. Ben Hannant hangs on, and they're 15 metres away from the Blues line. 5 changes for New South Wales, 6 for Queensland. As Stewart is tackled inside the 30-metre line.
Now with Ben Hannant coming on, that means they've got Hannant, Sivanasiva and Price out there, 3 front rowers. You'd be getting Danny Madeira straight back into the action and double team them round dummy half. Those big forwards there.
There's Gidley running at Sivanasiva, and he makes the tackle together with Johnson. As it goes away for the kick from Mitchell Pearce, and it's sending Billy Slater urgently across to his right. He brings it back outside 20, goes to Israel. And Falau is tackled inside the 30-metre line.
Yes, Ben Cross goes up the tunnel. I think that Craig Bellamy might think that an explosive player just might be able to pry open this tiring Queensland defence, and Brett Stewart, a noted try scorer, might be the man up the middle of that ruck to take advantage. Price offloads, does well, finds Cameron Smith. He's crunched 42 out from his own line.
So play now in the centre of the ground. The Queensland captain for the 3rd time, Cameron Smith, playing the ball, and Sivanasiva is chopped down by a Gidley tackle in combination with White. The pass way out in front of Thurston, and it's gone forward.
They really are all over the shop here in attack, Queensland. They just haven't gelled at all tonight. I know they've lost Scotty Prince, but there's been no plan B at all, and they are struggling. Both tries from kicks. Can't seem to get anything else happening. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Well, Gus, you saw Ben Cross go up the tunnel. The early report is some ligament damage to the left knee, maybe a strain, but you reckon you've seen the last football of the night from Ben Cross. Laurie Daley, your read on the match with a quarter to go.
Look, with the game on the line, Vossy, this is when you test the honesty of your teammate. Because before a game, you make eye contact with them and you make that commitment as an Origin player. You've just got to find something when you feel as though you haven't got anything left to give. It's time for the players to be brave and courageous and just believe in their skill factor.
Monahan to the halfway line, and Stewart giving it to Hayne, and Hayne is put down by Inglis. Jared Hayne playing it now for Gidley, and Gidley takes a couple of paces towards the middle of the ground before offloading for Lafranchi, who's piled down by 3 Queensland tacklers, and again Johnson's there together with Hammond and Harrison. Then Pearce goes across, White takes a slap across the face, Tony Archer lets it go, and so he should. Now it's been played, and it's back to Mason, and Mason comes to Smith and then is tackled and put away by Carmichael Hunt. They're on the 20-metre line. Here's Gidley putting a kick over the top, and Slater will watch it go in touch and go.
Handled that very nicely, Billy Slater. He was tempted to catch it on the full, realised where he was in relation to the sideline, and knew what a big play it would be is if this went over the sideline instead of him having to bring it back 20 metres.
So who wins, boys? 20 to go in the series. Who wins?
Well, it's so hard to pick. It's level pegging this half. There's just nothing in it. Queensland will think they can win no matter what the score is with 5 to go.
And that's it. I think New South Wales look more dangerous, but Queensland they find a way to win. They've always done so, and they're in a position to do so again tonight.
And you probably think if you're looking for match winners, Queensland might have a slight advantage. Inglis, Falau, Thurston.
Here's Sivanasiva then, taken down just inside the 40-metre line, Blues end of the park.
He's been a colossus tonight, Sivanasiva.
Smith away for Thurston, and Thurston crosses with 30, turns a pass inside for Carmichael Hunt, and he's ordered turnover.
That's a bad play, tackle 5. They're giving cheap field position here to the New South Wales side. They needed a kick on the end of that set of 6. I don't know. I think the Blues look more likely to score a try than Queensland, but Maroons are hanging in there as they usually do.
Here's Hoffman taken by Hannant and Johnson on the Blues 40-metre line, and Cooper it is who goes for a run towards halfway and runs into the front rowers. In fact, all three front rowers, Hannant, Price and Sivanasiva. Now it's with Pearce, and Mitchell Pearce almost through. He's tackled on the 40-metre line by Ben Hannant, who covered a lot of ground to get there. Now it's with Gidley. He fends away from one, but Inglis rides him into the ground inside the Queensland 30-metre line. Tackle 5 is with the Blues, and Pearce goes to the air. The chasers are onside, and up goes Billy Slater. Another magnificent exhibition in the air. Here is Darius Boyd now, taken on the second, inside the 10-metre line. Thurston is with the ball. It was an interrupted play, the ball with a New South Wales player not getting clear of the ruck. It's Tate giving it back to Falau. Falau to Thurston. Thurston to Smith. Plenty of passing, but they're going laterally. He'll play the ball just outside the 20-metre line. Look at Slater. Up there he goes. And Joel Monahan underneath him, hoping for something to come down by way of the crumbs. 30 metres out, then play by Slater. Smith goes to Thurston, and he's taken by Gidley and Cooper on the Queensland 40-metre line, and Smith obliged to kick from that point. The ball bouncing inside the 20, rolling away towards the uprights down the south, the southern end, and it's with Stewart now from Manly, and he comes back and he gets it just outside the 20-metre line.
Yeah, both teams seem to be marking time as far as their attack is concerned. And Gus, you say New South Wales look more likely to score. I don't think they do. I think if they score a try, it'll come on the back of a Mitchell Pearce break, maybe with a Brett Stewart backing up. He seems the man most likely up the middle.
You would have seen on that picture there Cameron Smith with a problem. He's still in the middle of the park in defence. He's in that tackle with Brent Tate, but the captain is not well, Cameron Smith. It's come away from Gidley, and there's a hurdling Cooper. Taken 7 metres into Queensland's area. 5 tackles gone for the Blues. They go away to a Nasta who rakes the ball back towards his left, and it's bounced up for Slater. And Falau it is who carries it back off the 20-metre line and tackled in the centre of the ground. 10 points all then, with just over 15 minutes to go. Harrison put away effectively. Good shot that from LaFranchi. And the second tackle is gone for Queensland. This is Inglis inside the 40-metre line. 7 changes made by both Mal Meninga and Craig Bellamy. Now it's with Sivanasiva trundling it up, straight up the middle, the big fella, to the halfway line. 22 Origin matches for him. He's only missed 1 since he debuted way back in the early part of the new century. Here's Price.
Very close to getting Danny Vidiris back out there. His final 15 minutes in Origin football. As Thurston drives it low. Picked up by Anthony Quinn. He's got Stewart in support. He opts to go infield and does well to get over the 20-metre line and still going.
Thurston struggling to put him away. Calls on the help of Carmichael Hunt. Stewart flicks it up, and Asta runs a blindside play, and it's Tate who makes the tackle.
Fitzgibbon on for Mason.
So here is Cooper again now, coming to Nate Miles and Ben Hannant, and he's put away. Cooper playing it near the halfway. Stewart gets away from Hannant, gets away from another, tries to find an opening. Running the play at Cameron Smith. Mason is off. Vidiris is about to come on. Gidley gives a one-handed pass away to Fitzgibbon, who reels and gets it away to Stewart. Stewart looks at Pearce and goes down towards the 30-metre line, where he's tackled and put away there by Nate Miles. Gidley again onto White, and White gets it away to Pearce. Pearce's kick is high, down into the in goal. Slate, it's way over the dead ball line.
So I think the Blues are playing a little too conservatively, and Danny Vidiris getting back out there may change that. It looks to me as though they just don't quite know whether to open up or not. I think they've got more football in them than the Queenslanders, but they're reticent to try it. They're just not pushing the ball through the hands and getting out into open spaces.
Here's Hannant, 30 away from his own line.
10-all with 13 to go. We are just starting to creep into field goal territory, but neither team has really been in good field position in the last 10 minutes to have one. Let's see what happens. It might come soon.
I've got no doubt if Queensland do get in position, they'll take it immediately and then rely on their great resilience to get them home defensively. Jonathan Thurston short side on a rush and throws it away.
Thurston's gone inside 30. Gets it to Slater. Here comes another Origin try. Another Origin try for Billy Slater.
Don't worry about 1 point. 6 will do nicely. Jonathan Thurston, you know he's going to throw dummies. He is the most dangerous player on the field when the ball is in his hand. And he's thrown a dummy to get through on the short side. He took it at speed. Went at Brett White. Through on the outside. Mitchell Pearce stayed with Greg Inglis. Thurston slid through, and as always, Billy Slater, fullback on the inside, supporting up the middle of the field, scores next to the post. 6 in front, 10 to go.
The Queensland team lead 14 points to 10 with a kick to come.
Well, there he is, Billy Slater. Billy the Kid has done it again. Billy Slater has scored his 5th Origin try, the 25-year-old. He's played 7 Origin games and I was going to say never scored a more important try, but he scored that classic try in 2004. And tonight he has broken a deadlock with a magic try, running off the man that just converted it, Jonathan Thurston, who made space down the left side. And then the lightning feet of Billy the Kid took it to the try line.
Well, you mentioned match winners, and he is one of them, isn't he? It's just getting on the outside of a slow, tired prop late in the match. It was no match. Thurston, beautiful dummy. And Billy Slater, look at the boys. They go up. Not home yet, 16-10.
There was obviously a mistake there in the Blues defensive line. You've got a front rower defending alongside the halfback. I don't think that Mitchell Pearce knew that the man inside him was a front rower. Thurston got him for pace.
The 7 receiver bringing it out to the 10-metre line in front of his own uprights. The crowd, incidentally, is 78,350. As Stephen Price plays the ball inside the 20-metre line. It's away for Ashley Harrison, who's toiled hard, mistake-free. As Smith flicks it up for young Hannon, and Hannon is jolted in the tackle. Michael Crocker seems okay. Thank God for that.
Now that the Maroons have jumped 6 in front, it may entice the Blues to start throwing the ball around. They've been very conservative indeed. Now they've got to play footy to win.
Cameron Smith with the kick that goes down and finds Brett Stewart. And can he pull one out of the bag with limited time, with limited opportunity? Inside the 30-metre line, tackled by Hannon. And for a big man, he's covered a lot of ground since he came on. Admittedly, he's got fresh legs. There's Cross back on the bench with ice packs on the knees. And here's Fitzgibbon with the ball almost to the halfway line. Harrison making the tackle. So Badeiras in the last 10 minutes of his Origin career. Can somehow or other the Blues get it over the line for him. They're trailing by 6 as it comes along to Gallen, and Gallen to Anasta, and Anasta away to Cooper. Cooper slides past a vain tackle by Folau. Cooper stays in the field of play when pulled down by Hunt. The ball to be played to Quinn on tackle 5. It's gone to Anasta, who kicks across the ground. He's looking for Joel Monahan, and up there is Greg Inglis on the fingertips, taking it beautifully.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He had Joel Monahan breathing down his neck. The kick was right on the money. And Greg Inglis, just like Folau on the other side. Watch this. Up he goes. Great protection from Jonathan Thurston. Great defence by Queensland. Brilliant stuff.
So, Sivanasiva played the ball. Hannon will play it now. 25 metres out from his own line. A 6-point lead. Is it going to get them home for a 3-peat? It'll be their 3rd time that they've put Origin Series victories together.
The Rabbits, we had 80 minutes of play in Origin 2, and we've had 71.5 minutes play in Origin 3. I'll make that 151 minutes, and the Blues have come up with 1 try in all that time. They've got to start moving the ball.
And Sivanasiva leaves the field after a mammoth performance again.
Wasn't he good, Pete?
Oh,
as soon as he came on, it changed the way Queensland played. Price followed, and they've had a good 20 minutes with those 2 boys on.
And Dallas Johnson now back out there, 43 tackles next to his name. They know they get home on defence, and they put their best back into the fray.
Danny Badira's running with gritted teeth. Pulled down by Hannah and Miles. It's come to a Nasta. He gets a call for an inside ball from Hoffman, who sweeps it down to Pearce, who gives it on to Anasta. Anasta to the 20-metre line, picking up Paul Gallen. Gallen, loose carry, put down, tried to pass it, and Smith dives on the opportunity for Queensland.
And that's what happens when you're desperate. You're playing desperate catch-up football, throwing loose passes. Queensland eat that up.
Greg Inglis is on the 30-metre line, his own end of the park. Gallen desperately trying to get the ball away there. As Paul points out, playing catch-ups, playing desperate football at this point of the game. And now Craig Bellamy has used up his interchange. Queensland still was, I think I read right, something like 3 to make.
Lost the football there, Carmichael Hunt. Willie Mason back on, 45 out. New South Wales an opportunity here. That's the first tackle on Fitzgibbon.
35 out, centre ground. And Badira's going to the right side, across the face of Brett White, finding Pearson. He goes on to Gallen. Gallen is held inside the 30-metre line. Queensland go on with the tackle and make sure that he's on the ground. And again, Johnson involved in the tackle with Harrison. Now here's a good strong run by Brett White up to the 20-metre line. 16 to 10. About 6.5 minutes to go. Pearce away to Anasta, steps off his left foot. Hoffman was screaming for the ball. So Badiris, it's gone back. Pearce did well to take it. It's gone to Mason. Mason lobs it down to Brett White, and White will play the ball, the base of the uprights in front of him to the tune of about 5 metres on tackle 5. Badiris, it's gone away. Here's a kick from Pearce, and diving in front of the flailing feet was Slater. Shutting it down again for Queensland.
Queensland leading by 6 with 6 to go. They are defending like men possessed.
Play by Boyd, and Greg Inglis runs a play towards the left side. Third tackle gone for Queensland, and here again is Darius Boyd.
And Michael Crocker back out there now as Craig Bellamy shows his frustration. Ben Hannant has left the field, and a nice cameo from Hannant. He worked and worked and worked in a short stint out there, and it was very important the period of time he was there. Last tackle now against Queensland. Cameron Smith sitting deep, kicking long. Stewart will bring it back close to the 40.
So Stewart is tackled, not close to the 40, right on the 40. Cameron Smith falling back into that kicking role. The long kick with Johnson pushing up to dummy half on those occasions.
Oh, with 5 minutes to go now, Queensland realise they probably only got to do another 40 tackles and they win this game. If they can avoid consecutive sets against them, they can come up with 40 good tackles, then the series is theirs.
Hoffman now to play the ball. Just inside 30, Badiris to Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon behind Quinn. It's with Anasta inside for Mason. Mason unloads. Badiris is with it. Got it away to Cooper. It goes on to Hoffman. Hoffman goes back inside to Cooper. And Cooper is tackled 9 metres away on tackle 5 for the Blues. 6 points down. Badiris long. Pearce in the middle. And a charge down by the charge down king, Stephen Price, and Thurston comes away with the ball.
Watch where Stephen Price comes from to make this charge down. This is an Origin footballer with a big Origin play. He knew that the crossfield kick was the danger. Stephen Price has been doing this all his career. A penalty here to Queensland coming out of trouble. Watch Steve Price sprint off the line, lunge his body, get his foot to the ball, and extinguish the opportunity for a crossfield kick to Monahan. Brilliant stuff from the big front rower for Queensland. And he just doesn't do it once or twice every now and then. He does it every time he plays.
He's an Origin legend, Stephen Price, and you saw he wasn't in the first game. You saw what happened to Queensland. He's been in the last 2. He's just a great Origin player.
Maybe we should point out as well, he's the oldest player on the field, 34 years of age.
34.
Now, if they can get in field goal range here...
Well, then frustration then by New South Wales. Someone made a silly high tackle deep in Queensland's territory, and Queensland are going to get out of jail. It was Paul Gallen.
Well, they take the 1 point, if they can get down far enough. Almost a face of resignation there from Craig Bellamy. We've seen strange things happen in the final 3 minutes of Origin games. Queensland in the box seat, working down towards 1 point. Steve Price, centre field, 40 out.
Tackle by Fitzgibbon. Play back to Smith. Behind Johnson to Thurston. Thurston to Harrison. Harrison tackled on the 30-metre line. It's winding down for Danny Badiris. As Price is tackled by Fitzgibbon.
Here we go. Thurston has set up.
So 16 to 10. The shot will be taken. We fancy. No, it's Smith who makes a wonderful run down the left side. Oh, Slater tried to make something out of nothing.
That was superb from Cameron Smith. They were lined up like Olympic sprinters, New South Wales, to all go towards Jonathan Thurston. There was only one player, two players at best on the short side, and Smith's kick just went too long. It was a great decoy play.
I still would like to see them go for the field goal, Pete.
I don't think he'd have got a shot in, Thurston.
Here's Cooper now, running away from the 30 and tackled on the 40-metre line by Hunt. It's played and gone on to White, and he's up to the halfway line, tackled by Steve Price and Ashley Harrison.
And we've seen Queensland do it to New South Wales so many times down the dying moments. Can the Blues do a Queensland on Queensland? Can they come up with something?
Inside 2 minutes to go. It's come from Pearce and gone to Hoffman. Hoffman tackled on 5, and they're 35 metres away from the line. And Nasta goes off the right foot. It goes high down towards Slater. Monahan with a big jump. Hayne takes the ball, thrusts it back. Monahan's got the ball. He's tackled and put down, and the tackle count restarts.
Here they come.
Here's Badiris now. Badiris tries to duck under Michael Crocker. He'll play the ball 9 metres away from the line to Craig Fitzgibbon. He goes to the right. It's with Mitchell Pearce. He puts a right foot step on. He's tackled and pulled down by Harrison and Johnson. Badiris, it comes away to Anasta. He floats it to Hoffman. And a wonderful tackle by Brent Tate. It's gone forward. It's gone forward. Sit down, Paul. It's okay. We've got it. Scrum to pack.
Unbelievable. 50 seconds left. Queensland know they've won it. Just got to hold the football. I know it was a forward pass, but what a great tackle by Brent Tate.
The referee could hear you from here. So there it is, the pass from Anasta.
Well, it's not forward for a start. There's no way in the world that's a forward pass. It was a great tackle by Brent Tate, but there was no way that's a forward pass.
If you watch the ball leave the hands, it's moved backwards in relation to the hands. Admittedly, it's floated forward. There's no dispute about that. Queensland winning a scrum. The last of the game, one would imagine, with 45 seconds of the game to go.
Just got to be careful about one-on-one strips now.
12 penalties in the game, awarded by Tony Archer. He's right on his average number of penalties. He's given 7 to Queensland and 5 to New South Wales. 20 metres out from the line, played by the two-try hero, Israel Folau. Greg Inglis had the spotlight at Suncorp 3 weeks ago. And tonight, the try-scoring plaudits are very much with Folau and Slater.
There it is, one-on-one strip. New South Wales, one last chance, one last tackle.
Fitzgibbon to Pearce. He puts a kick in, it turns Boyd around. Slater watches it, takes it over the in-touch in goal. Queensland have won it. They've won the decider. They've won the series 3 years in a row. That's the 3rd time they've done it. They dominated in the 80s. They won 3 peats on 2 occasions. And they've done it again in 2008, back-to-back with their 6 and 7 victories. Without Scott Prince, it's hard to take anything away from them. And the curtain goes down on a magnificent Origin career for Danny Badiris. He debuted in 2002. He's broken record upon record here tonight. He wasn't able to grab the Laurie Daley record or the Brad Fittler record that has been documented. Craig Bellamy's head goes down. And I wonder whether will his coaching at Origin level go as well. Slater scored a great try. And still Craig Bellamy is bowed, feeling the pain of defeat.
Coaching Origin is a very emotional and draining experience. It's not just the 6 weeks that the series is on. It's for months in preparation. You put your heart and soul in it. He's at his club duties as well. And I, for one, hope that Craig Bellamy does not give away the post, that he returns next year. And not give it away after 1 year simply because they lost. It's the coach of the highest order. But in this series, it belongs to Queensland. Too good in game 2, far too good in game 2, and they just found a way tonight. I thought the Blues were probably a little the better side, but Queensland found a way, as they quite often do.
They mentioned they've done it here tonight for more than half the game without their number 7, Scott Prince, but I then remember that they've done it without Darren Lockyer, and they've done it without Justin Hodges, who I think is one of the best centres, if not the best centre in the world. Benny Ikin out on the stadium.
Well, it doesn't get any more important than this. I'm here with the skipper, Cameron Smith. 3 series in a row, and guess what? You made it 2 from 13 at ANZ Stadium. How you feeling, mate?
Oh, mate, that's unbelievable to win a series down here in the decider. Mate, I don't think you can get any much better than that. But, mate, 2 good teams. What a tough game. It was a great game.
Now, midway through that first half, Scott Prince, the bloke that had trained at halfback, a lot of your attack had revolved around him. He goes off with a broken arm. What was everybody thinking?
Yeah, we didn't actually know straight away. We went through a couple of sets without Princey, but yeah, you know, we were confident with Carmichael there. He played in the first game, you know, and we knew he was a tough character, and he did a really good job tonight.
Now you're up against an old foe, Danny Medeiros. He's had a wonderful career. You two guys have gone head-to-head for the last few seasons. I'm sure you got some nice words to say about him.
Yeah, definitely. Danny's a great competitor, and I think he typifies, you know, what Origin footy's about. He just plays his all every time he comes on the field, and you know, he's going to go down as one of the best rugby league players ever.
Well, Smithy, all the Queensland's proud of you. Go and enjoy the victory, son. Over to you, matey.
Yeah, thanks, Brendan. With that man, Danny Medeiros, and Betsy, yes, was so dominant for long periods, but just couldn't accumulate the points to win it.
Yeah, that's right, mate. We probably had our chances down the back stretch there. You got to give it to Queensland, mate. They got some freakish talent. As you saw, Vizara Folau pretty much can't stop that sort of stuff, mate.
Mate, I know it's a very difficult moment to talk about, look back on the Origin career, Danny, but yeah, moments that stand out for you.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Every time we run out here, it's a moment, but yeah, I'm going to enjoy this sort of, you know, obviously it's the wrong end of the scale for me, but I'm going to enjoy the moment. It's a time for reflection, I guess.
Well, Danny, look, on behalf of everyone and not just New South Wales people, I'm sure Queensland people want to congratulate you on a remarkable career. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Danny Medeiros exiting the Origin arena. Benny Ikin down again on the turf.
Yeah, thanks, Benny. Jonathan Thurston, you lost your halfback in the first half. The stage was set. What was going through your head?
You know, we said at half-time we just need to stick to the game plan, and that's what we did. You know, we've got a great bunch of blokes that are very close-knit, and, you know, it's a Queensland spirit in the end.
Now, this blue side, they never gave in at all. It was a tough match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You know, physical, mentally, you know, it's very draining, but it's bittersweet at the end of it.
Now, it was locked at 10 apiece, and someone had to come to the fore, someone had to step up, and all of a sudden, the number 6 for the Queenslanders breaks his way through. You must be proud of your effort tonight.
Yeah, you know, I think the forwards deserve a lot of credit. They laid a good platform, and the old show and go, baby. Thank you.
Now, the confidence has returned. Look, mate, before you go, I've got to say it was a great performance from you. You're going back to club level now. You must have been over the moon with the way you're playing. You're going to take that back to the Cowboys?
I hope so. Hopefully we can get a win there soon too.
Good on you, mate. Go and enjoy the victory. Back up to you, Ray.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Job well done. You and Matthew down there tonight with the entire commentary team. So there's much more still to come here from the ANZ Stadium. Wally down there rejoicing the victory of the Queenslanders, and so he should. Magnificent. The comment applies to either Jonathan Thurston or Billy Slater, and that was the moment where Queensland grabbed the upper hand and then hung to that 6-point margin, and 16-10, an embrace there between Coach Meninga and Jonathan Thurston. Meninga, the first Queensland coach to win 3 in a row since Artie Beetson in 82, 83 and 84. So everything's in order now. I believe that we can go for the presentation and to Steve Allen. Yes, Steve?
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the official presentation for the 2008 Harvey Norman State of Origin Series. Queensland winning their 3rd successive series and running out winners tonight, 16 points to 10 over the New South Wales Wizard Blues. Right now I'd like to welcome our official party, Representing Harvey Norman tonight is Mr. Messiah Seki, the Chief Executive Officer of Fujifilm Australia and New Zealand. Colin Love, the Chairman of the ARL and the New South Wales Rugby League. John McDonald, the Chairman of the Queensland Rugby League and the Deputy Chairman of the ARL. And ladies and gentlemen, our final guest on stage, the man who dominated State of Origin, winning 8 Man of the Match awards. Earlier this year, he was named as the 5/8 in the Team of the Century. Rugby League legend, Wally Lewis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, State of Origin has been the pinnacle of rugby league since 1980. And again in 2008, we saw a wonderful series. Congratulations to Mal Meninga and his Queensland team. And right now I'd like to call Wally Lewis forward to announce the winner of the prestigious Wally Lewis Medal in 2008. And it's gone to a halfback tonight, Jonathan Thurston from the Queensland side. Wonderful player, last year's Daley M Player of the Year, Jonathan Thurston, receiving the medal from one of the all-time greats, Wally Lewis. What a moment for Jonathan Thurston. Well done. Well, congratulations to Jonathan winning the Wally Lewis Medal in 2008. I'd just like to pay special tribute to the New South Wales captain, Danny Badiris. His final game for New South Wales tonight, he broke a couple of records, including the most games as captain and also the most consecutive games, going past Paul Harrigan. Tonight he played his 21st game. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the New South Wales skipper, Danny Badiris. Right now I'd like to invite Colin Love and also Messiah Seki to step forward with the Harvey Norman Shield in 2008. It's presentation time. It goes to the Queensland captain, Cam Smith. What a battle between Cam Smith and Danny Badiris in this year's Harvey Norman State of Origin series. There it is for the Queenslanders for the 3rd year in succession. Danny Badiris, his final game tonight, and Cam Smith, the winner for the Queenslanders, about to hold the shield up. Here he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'd like to call Cam into the microphone to say a couple of words. He's getting used to this, their 3rd series in a row. Well done, Cam.
Yeah, thanks very much. Firstly, I'd like to thank the series sponsor, Harvey Norman, for a great series. I'd like to thank all the crowd for coming out tonight. Big crowd for a big game. Thank all the Queenslanders for coming down with our support. I think all the players would agree it's probably one of the toughest series we've played. You know, it's both teams dominated one game each in the first 2, and a typical Origin game tonight, toughed it out right to the end, but the Maroons got it in the end. So good on you, boys. Just a special mention, I think, to Danny Badiris. I know I've been butting heads with him for a while now at Origin level, but he's a special player, and he's gone out on a great note. So good on you, mate. But to the Queensland boys, 3 series in a row is something special. We've got a very special group there, coached by some very special players, some guys. So thanks, boys.
Congratulations again to Cam Smith, Mal Meninga and the entire Queensland coaching staff. Time now for the celebration photo, followed by a lap of honour. Still plenty of Maroons fans here at ANZ Stadium. Thanks to our official party tonight, Messiah Seki, the CEO of Fujifilm Australia and New Zealand, representing Harvey Norman tonight. Thanks also to Colin Love, the chairman of the ARL. Thanks to John McDonald, the chairman of the QRL and the deputy chairman of the ARL. And thanks also to rugby league legend, the great Wally Lewis, on stage tonight. Well, the Queensland team enjoying the celebration.
Okay, we'll leave Steve Allen there and the main part of the presentation ceremony. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Ben Ikin, when we come to the break, I'm just advised by our director, when we do, we'll have our own man of the match for the new Ford Falcon people as well. So we haven't forgotten that. Jonathan Thurston wins the Wally Lewis Medal for Player of the Series, and Danny Badiris in his exit from the Origin stage his final walk up the tunnel, something that he described as one of the most thrilling things that can be bestowed on any rugby league player. And a proud and privileged captain he has been. From Taree, 30-year-old Danny Badeiras, and his Origin career comes to a close. Meantime, Stephen Price and Nate Miles are on camera, soaking up the moment. Andrew Voss down on the field. Yes, Andrew.
With the man who has scored the match-winning try and the series-winning try, as it turns out. You've done this before, but a lap of honour in Sydney, this is pretty rare.
It is, mate. No, I've been here before, but I've never won a series. And the feeling then that Hooter went, nothing compares. Like, it's grand final stuff, mate. These bunch of blokes, they're like a brother to us, and something special here.
You've scored some pretty special tries. We're having a look at this try that you scored tonight. Just how do you recall the try?
Mate, we had a little chip kick on the right, me and JT, but he zipped around on the left, and I just followed him, and he can create something out of nothing, and I was just in the right spot, so I was pretty happy to get the ball there.
Finally, Billy, you're a long way from Innisfail. Where's all the family tonight?
Mate, Mum and Dad couldn't come down, and my sister's over in London, so I love yous all. I hope you have a good time up there. I'm sure they're having a few beers.
You have a good night too, Billy. Well done. Over to you, Benny.
Well, look, I'm here with Stephen Price. He was meant to be too old and too slow 3 years ago. He's winning games to Queensland where you shouldn't be winning them. How you feeling, mate?
Yeah, mate, it's enormous. A great bunch of guys. I think Mal creates a fantastic atmosphere, and we believed in each other, down to 16 men, and we were the only ones who could do anything about it.
Now, it was a tough game in game one, but you had some real confidence and momentum coming out of game two. Were you confident you could come here and win this one tonight?
Yeah, mate, we knew it was going to be tough. Everything was against us. There was a great crowd here from New South Wales. Haven't got a good record here, but the boys dug in, and we knew that if we could hang in there, we'd come home strong.
Yeah, talk to me about half-time. You lose your halfback, the guy that's going to guide you around the field. He goes off 20-minute mark, broken arm. You come in at half-time. It's a tough contest. What's the coach say?
Yeah, mate, he just said, obviously there was another 16 guys around, so not a bad replacement in Jonathan Thurston, and I thought Carmichael did a great job, so everyone did their part, and it's a tremendous effort.
You're 100% right. Get over there. Don't come with me. They want you. They want you.